hello. How you guys doing? Still recovering? Anyway, we're gonna be talking with Cassandra.
There we go.
How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Good. Finally, we get
Yeah,
to meet.
I just figured you'd forgotten last time, and then it was time.
Never forget.
So I went, well,
Opposites. So how have you been? I think we tend to forget that people like you still performer artists and creative people need to keep on doing and going. And 35 years. I just watched that video on your website, 25 years of keeping it real, and I
oh
went
yeah,
through. I remember all most of those.
do you?
Yeah, really. I mean, it really brings
That's
a
good.
lot of memories
Yeah, that's
because
good.
I've been following you since you
Yeah,
were student and
and
Abdul Zafandi and all that. You were the only game in town 30 years ago, 35 years ago. So, but anyway, welcome to the show, Cassandra. So,
thank
take
you.
us through what was like trying to survive and cope with COVID and lockdown as an artist.
Well, thank you for having me, Ahmed. Yeah, it's been a difficult year. I am used to putting on, especially with Jawaahir, the company. I've been used to putting on approximately a concert a year, and we're I think in our 22nd anniversary, or it could be, yeah, about our 22nd anniversary, and we haven't had a concert since 2018.
Yeah.
We were, I have scheduled the dancers. Periodically, I scheduled the dancers to do their own choreography so that they're learning, so that when I retire, there are still people that are understanding the music and the style and can continue. So I had scheduled a show that it was just the dancers choreographing themselves, choreographing for other dancers in the company. And that was supposed to happen last November, and then last March, and of course last April, it got canceled for last April 2020. I rescheduled it for November 2020. That got canceled, obviously, and I rescheduled it for March 2021, and that got rescheduled. So we're back to November 2021. So hopefully it will come on. And so it's been a really quiet year with that because I can't have the dancers in the studio rehearsing because of the social distancing. It's very difficult to rehearse on Zoom with the latency issues. People are not doing the same thing at the same time, depending on their broadband and their
Yeah.
computer, everything. It's not. It's like it's hard to practice music this way as well. So there are sites that have been trying to correct this, but nothing has come up really well. Many of the theaters closed. Some of them are out of business. The one that we scheduled, the Elysion in Crystal, is hanging on. I hope it hangs on until November, knock on wood. So it's been a little bit difficult, and just trying to find a way to keep the studio open and keep the students, in shape, keep the dancers in shape. I'm able to do virtual cabarets, Zoom cabarets, by just having 4 dancers in the studio performing one at a time in front of the camera. So we've been able to do that, and I've instigated or instituted a new idea for me. It's a dance party. It's a Zoom dance party, and I am like the DJ, and I just play music and invite, for a very small amount of money, invite people to come and just they can dance or watch or sit or drink sodas or coffee or whatever they like. And I'm the DJ and I dance for the hour and a half or whatever, however long we want to. It's not a performance though. It's just like as if you were in your living room. And that's been pretty successful. People are enjoying it because it's very low key. It's not costumed. It's not a performance. It's just really like a very social dance.
Very intimate. So those four or whatever few, they come to your studio or as you are streaming this, or how that works?
No, for the cabaret, they actually are in the studio. Oh. So that I have my tech crew here. So my lighting and sound person are sitting up at the tech desk. And then we have a fair amount of space in here, so I can social distance them quite easily, everybody. And then they perform one at a time in front of the Zoom camera, which is the same camera and the same setup that I'm using for classes. And you can see behind me the tent cloth and the cyc. The white cyc is down, and that just stays there for the classes and for the cabaret. But we have better lighting for the cabaret, of course. So that's been pretty successful. It certainly helped me to keep the doors open. As I'm sure you know, I'm right next door to the 3rd precinct. Yeah. And I mean, when I say right next door, I mean 15 feet away. So we sustained a fair amount of damage. The building sustained a fair amount of damage. And that's been fixed now. I would say most of it's been fixed. It was quite expensive, not from my side of it so much, although we did sustain a little water damage on the dance floor and smoke damage in the office, which was remarkably more expensive to fix than I thought.
Yeah, usually it is.
And yeah, for my little office, it was like $5,000 or something. Yeah, but the main building is now back up and running, and the power is all back on, and so everything.
So who are those people who, like in your cabaret experiment? Who are the people who actually come? What are there dancer interested in dancing, new, old?
Yeah, you mean the audience?
Yes.
Yeah. So the audience is a mix of people that are just that have been audience members before at concerts, and I have a few of them. I have a lot of dance students, and the interesting thing about it for both classes and for the dance party and the cabaret, because it's Zooming, I have a lot of students from all over the US and Europe and other countries that have Scandinavia, New Zealand, that I taught for many years, when I was traveling and teaching a lot. And they've been coming to class or Zooming in for the dance party or for the cabaret. So I have a kind of a broader reach of an audience than when you're just doing it local, but I don't have as many local people that were just coming to the live show, with the band or the live dancers.
So something good came out of this.
Something good has come out of it. Yeah, my students that have been clamoring for me to do online classes for years are much happier now. And my students that want to be in person are not as happy right now. So I think we're trying to figure out how to go to a hybrid situation where we can have people in the studio as well as the Zoom camera.
So what's your relationship with the audience? I'm sure it is different on Zooming, but sometimes when I'm watching on Zoom, I'm by myself in my pajama or whatever, and there is an intimate relationship with the performers because I think I'm the only one there. And it's a little bit different, I understand, but it is a different relationship.
It is. I think in some ways this depends on the performer. For me, like I've always tried to be close to my audience and dance for my audience and look at my audience and respond to them. And even though I can't see them all the time when I'm doing the performances for Zoom on the cabaret, I still feel as though I'm trying to communicate through that camera. So I'm still looking at the camera looking as though I see you, even if I can't see you all the time. I can see my students sometimes, but I can't always see all the audience because I can't we usually make the Zoom screen for the dancers just them looking at themselves dancing, as opposed to, the Hollywood Squares,
Yeah.
50 people on the screen, because it's a little distracting when people are getting up and moving around and, calling their friends and picking up their cat and chasing their dog. And so we just leave it the performer so she can see herself and know where she is. But for me, I know you're there somehow, and my natural inclination is to still dance at the camera and make sure that everything is the communication is still trying to get through forward. So it does depend on the dancer, because I know I have performers that have been performing that had trouble with that. It was difficult for them to feel as though there was anyone watching. And there are other people who are a little more natural, and there are some people who have learned how to do it. So for me, I feel like I'm still trying to communicate through the camera.
You've been doing this for quite some time. Have you experienced anything like this before? Similar, related, and how were ready for it, prepared
No,
for something like that?
I wasn't ready for it. No one, I don't. Well, some people that may have been more online with their classes and performing might have been ready for it. But no, I'm used to the live. I mean,
Yeah.
to me, the whole interaction of dance and music is, I mean, the whole beauty of it and the artistry really is in that live performance, and how the musicians and the dancer, perform together and react to each other, and how the audience interacts with that. And, you can't achieve tarab through Zoom.
No.
There's no tarab through Zoom.
Yeah. No. Well, actually, randomly, I was watching. I'm trying to avoid news and mainstream media as much as I can. So I go for old Egyptian movies and
Yes.
Naguib Rahani and Abd Halim Hafiz and whatever. And I run to a group called the National Arab Orchestra. You probably know them.
Yeah, that's Michael Ibrahim, and he's been here playing in our shows.
Yeah, that's what and then I found you always bring new artists to your gala or your new concert or your performance. And I know we lost a great musician, Elias.
Yes.
Tragic. We're not even gonna get to that. But I was watching with my wife, and all of a sudden, we were very confused.
That was Ilyas.
It was him.
Yeah, he has performed. He did perform quite often with the National Arab Orchestra before he passed away. And before he moved from San Francisco, he was living in the Santa Cruz area when he passed away. But you can see him with the orchestra. And yes, if you should recognize his accordion playing.
I'm just cannot thank you enough for introducing him to us here, and in the whole band of. And I don't know if what's his brother's name?
Is Georges Lamam.
Is he still performing?
Yes.
Is this hard for you to talk? Should we move on?
No, I'm fine.
Okay.
It's Georges Lamam, and he is in San Francisco. He is still performing, and they are, I think, just within the last month being able to go out and perform live again. He has been doing some things on Zoom like I've been doing, like him and a drummer, like his brother maybe, or somebody, just doing some short concerts on Zoom. But and Michael Ibrahim has been doing the same thing. And I also recommend, if you haven't found him yet, the red violinist, Leif, who also plays with the National Arab Orchestra. You really must listen to him.
My goodness.
Must.
Michael with his ponytail, and he's standing. He is a conductor, and he's conducting with his flute. That is brilliant.
He's
Performance by himself.
Yes. Well, he plays many instruments, so it depends on the concert that you're seeing.
Yeah, he does.
What he might be conducting with, or even might be playing in the show. And he has, if you go to his Facebook page, he does put up small musical vignettes almost every day of him playing.
I follow him on Facebook, and he always live
lovely.
performance, and I just since I was a little kid, I fell in love with the flute.
Yes.
And I think it is very different instrument. And I've always asked your performance artists when you bring them here, I always ask them the same questions. Did you choose your instrument or the instrument choose you? And it's amazing. It's like they hear that question many times, but every time it's like the first time, and they start talking about the relationship with their instrument. And it seems to me everybody has the same personality of the instrument itself. It's just I don't know. There is something going on there. And
well, it's like dancers. You don't necessarily choose to be a dancer. It chooses you in a way because it's the way you express yourself the best. And I think that's what happens is they find the instrument that they can speak through, that they can express themselves through, and that's the one that they stick with. And I think, some people have multiple personalities.
Exactly. But it's always a secret lover, there's beyond. Yeah. What is Jawaahir Company to you?
Well, it was my way of being able to put different kinds of Arab dance on the stage that weren't generally seen here in the States. Everybody can find some place where they can see belly dance. Everybody can find this if they want it. But for folk dances and creative dances and things that were storytelling dances like Retta Group used to do, or pure dance to music that might not be exactly Raqs Sharki, that kind of thing needed to be on the stage. So that's why I formed it. I actually think we're 22 years old now, the company, yeah. So I've had a lot of different dancers over that time. I have some beautiful dancers now, and if we could only get them back dancing, when I can get them back dancing, I'll be very happy to see them on stage again. They are rehearsing as best as they can over Zoom until they can get back into the studio, which I'm hoping will be this summer.
It is a way, especially for us, the immigrants. They come here, and it's a very different culture, different music, different food. That was like 30, 40 years ago. But now, with technology and social media and SoundCloud and YouTube, and you really don't have to. You can find any music you want, but seeing live performance, there's nothing like it.
Another reason that I started the company was to be able to bring the orchestras in, because again, I feel like the way that the Western audience, our local audience that isn't used to listening to Arabic music or watching that kind of dance at all, I think it will make more sense to them more quickly if they're able to see the music played on the instruments and watch the musicians and watch the interaction between the kind of instrument that you hear and the sound or the vocal and what's happening with the dance. I think it's easier for people to understand it that way. And then plus the advantage to me is that I get to hear great live music again, which is harder to find here. We have good musicians here, but it's not we don't have as many places to perform for the musicians, so we don't have as many. We have a smaller pool.
I remember, first time I met you was at Abdul Zafandi. You remember the restaurant?
Oh yeah, it's Abdul Zafandi.
This guy started it all, everything.
Yeah,
And
Muhammad Abdul.
yeah,
I think
he's
he
still
had.
around,
Yeah,
believe it
I
or
heard
not.
he had a small deli over at Oak and Washington.
This guy is
It's
not
just a
into
deli.
that.
You can order food and take it out. There's no tables. But
Oh,
I don't know how the shutdown has impacted him,
yeah, I'm
but
sure.
whether it's still there or not. But I think it was called Abdul Afandi again too. But Muhammad Abdul, he started many things. It's true. And the
Exactly.
Beirut is still there. The
Yeah.
Beirut is open again. Joe
Okay.
Khoury and the family.
Uh-huh.
And I
So
think Muhammad Abdul, his workers were the Ansari brothers who opened the Mediterranean cruise and Ansaris. And
he he,
so
he was behind every venture.
he
He
was
started it
behind
all.
many.
He helped Java. He helped Mediterranean crew. This guy is the
Rustam,
godfather of Mediterranean food, but he doesn't get the credit he deserves. But
true.
tell us a little bit about Jawahir Dance Company now. It's well established, and as you say, you are preparing the next generation.
That's what I'm hoping for. I probably have the next two generations already. Uh,
Because,
I want to say I want to thank you for supporting our work all as long as you have from the beginning, really, and also a person that I learned a lot from that we don't see very much anymore is Busbus, Nafisa Matkour.
yeah,
She was playing kanun. Uh,
yes, she was a great player.
she was a very good player. I enjoyed working with her a lot. She taught me a lot.
Really?
Yes, a lot.
I know that's her trade. She was a music teacher.
Well, she wasn't a music teacher so much as she helped me understand music better and understand the relationship of the dancer to the music and the dancer to the audience. And we watched a lot of videos together, her and some of her women friends, and we would get together and watch some of the famous Egyptian dancers, and we would talk about them. And really, I learned a lot from this.
So, what's the next performance that we should look forward to?
Well, I'm having another dance party in May, on May 22nd, and then I have a Zoom cabaret on June 12th. And I believe one of my guest dancers will be Margot Abdo Odell, as
Yeah, I
you
saw that.
know her, yes.
Hmm.
And then
She danced in my wedding. I just
yes,
wanna sneak this in.
that's okay. Ali Awad.
Ali Awad, yes,
Yeah, he's the architect.
yes.
Yeah, so I danced at his wedding, and I know his father hired me to dance at his wedding, and I saw his father at the Marriott in Cairo.
Oh, really? Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
I was in the breakfast buffet, and he was also there. He worked in the tower, and he started calling my name, and I thought, "Who's calling my name?" And I turned
yeah.
around. And there he
People
was.
go there so they can hide.
Yeah, well, I run into people I know in Cairo and in Athens
I
all the
see.
time. It's a small world, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
But I know Ali now because Ali plays a bass guitar.
Oh.
And since I've been playing drum kit, I see him when we're playing. We have our little rock camp recitals, and I see him all the time these days. And of course, he did the addition on my house as well. So his children are all grown up, of course. But
Yeah, they're always
I
connecting now.
I think I danced at your wedding.
Exactly. Now he is in your house. You can't get rid of him. Well, thank you so much, Cassandra. Keep up the good work, and we hope we can come and see you very soon.
Okay, thank you very much. I hope in November,
Yeah,
inshallah.
thank you, Cassandra. Sure, is the founder of Jawahir dance company. She's been performing for 35 years, and Cassandra.